Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video as well, we will continue our discussion on Panchang and we will take up another important limb or element of Panchang which is called as the KARAN. So guys, like the way you know this thing that when it comes down to having a strong grip in astrology or understanding the planetary influence in a very precise way, so having a superficial knowledge of that in which zodiac sign planets are placed, which conjunctions are they making, that much is not enough. And I have seen that practically in so many cases. When you will see the chart, like the ascendant chart, Jupiter is exalted in the 9th house, Saturn is well placed in the 10th house, but even after that, native is still struggling even in the attributes of that house as well. So in these kind of situation, if you are sincere, enthusiast and student of Vedic astrology, your basics have to be clear. And guys, everything in astrology comes down to connecting the synchronous dots. I mean to say, if you are meant to do something good in the creative talents, you might find these people, so far the Panchang topics which we have covered, native might have the influence of Rohini Nakshatra or the Purva Falguni Nakshatra. Native might be born in the second Tithi, which we have already discussed. That second Tithi is connected with the creator, Hindu god, which is the Brahma. So it all comes down to that the much knowledge, the much tools you will have in your arsenal, the more it will serve you. And definitely guys, after this video we'll get to know that this integral element of the Panchang which we will discuss today, KARAN, it becomes very important specifically when it comes down to knowing someone's technique or approach towards work. Like this could be also translated in English as like the kind of tools you have, the kind of expertise you have while performing your duties. And along with that, the right set of approach and attitude which needs to be embraced. So guys, a lot of you who have definitely done astrology courses, because I know in my community, there are those people who are still on a very initial stage in their journey of the acquisition of this great spiritual religious knowledge of Vedic astrology. And there are those who are still doing research. Their base and their foundation is clear, like you have done your courses from some reputed institutions or you have been following the astrology subject from past so many long years. So still I would say this thing that my approach and intention while covering these basics of Vedic astrology is to serve all those people who have not done the homework or whose basics are yet not clear. So this video is intended to serve those only. Definitely I cannot straight away start explaining you the complications of the calculation which you can do from software or start making assessment on the Panchang on the real charts, because that's gonna take while. Because guys, my objective is that after covering all aspect of the Panchang, what we will do is that whenever I bring up any case study, so I only talk from the point of view of the combinations, the Raj Yogas which this native has, which helped him succeed in his life. But after completing all the integral elements of the Panchang, what I'm thinking about doing is that we will do the case study only on the basis of Panchang. So let's say for example, we will take up the case of Tom Cruise, we will take up the case of Nelson Mandela, we'll take up the case of Roger Federer, and we'll see that just on the basis of Panchang, the Tithi on which the native is born, the Var in which native is born, Nakshatra, Karan and Yog, basis that can we see that a jubilant success in the life of that person or not. So stay with me and give me some time. Once these basics will be clear, then we will get into the deeper analysis and blending everything. So guys, all what you have to do is that if you are using any good software, like this could be Prashara Lite, Jagannathura software, Astro Sage. So all what you have to do is that after keying in your details, putting in your details, you have to go to the personal details section. Over there, it will tell you that in which phase of the moon you are born, in which tithi you are born, what is your moon nakshatra, and what is your karan, the topic which we will be discussing today. And guys, for certain of these karan which we will discuss, the types of which are 11, some of them are fixed, some of them are movable. They are certain which have been written in kind of a negative and in a very extreme light. So that does not mean that your work style or your approach has to be like that. Definitely there are those professions where being very soft spoken, being very likable helps you, and there are those professions where you have to be very rigid, you have to be very hard. So everything has got its own pros and cons, so take it with an open mind. That is all what I can say. So okay guys, we'll start our discussion. Like the way I mentioned, there are 11 Karans, and the first one is bow. So B-A-V, bow. The meaning can be translated as the flowing water, and the god which preside over it is the Indra. So Indra, who is the god of the rains and the thunderstorm, is connected with it. So how does it majorly impact your life? And when I say impact, just because Karan has got more to do with your techniques, the tools which you have, which definitely you will use while performing your duties. So the major impact comes inherited qualities or flaws. So a lot many times it has been seen. Now again, over here as well, you have to connect the dots. Let's say for example, along with this, your Karan is bow and your second house is very prominent. Your like you are being Aquarius Lagna, your ascendant lord Saturn is exalted in the 9th house. So all these are the information. Or let's say for example, you are a Scorpio Lagna and your ascendant lord is debilitated, for example, in the 9th house. So everything has got a say in it. So just looking at this Karan in someone's personal details in the Panchang, that will tell you about that native will definitely have some sort of inherited. This could be good qualities or this could be flaws. Respectful lineage. There's a strong chance that you come from a family which has got name and reputation in the society. Respectful towards teaching and virtues of family and traditions. So there is a lot of emphasis on being respectful, being very obedient towards your family tradition, culture and all. Now guys, the results. So the way I have mentioned the attributes of this Karan is that they acquire major traits from their ruler Indra, wherein water should be honored around their living space and environment, not staying obsolete, welcoming change, embracing modern techniques, outlook, and adapting with the changing trends get strongly recommended for this Karan. Placing water fountain or fish aquarium suits them, and doing any business connected with ocean, river, sea, water always prove fruitful for them. Storing rainwater in a glass water bottle also acts as a remedy for their success. So yes guys, now moving to the next Karan, which is the Bala, which means group of children or heirs. Now the major impact, because the lord of this Karan is the Brahma, who is the creator. So definitely something to do with your like I would say that the birth being in the Dvitiya Tithi. So what we see over here is that the results, engaging in activities, first of all the major impact connected to creation, production, manufacturing and children. Now when we talk about the results, engaging in activities which benefits or supports children, being in professions which involves heirs also prove to be very beneficial. Now you could be writing children books, you might be a good barber, a hairstylist, so all of that is getting promised. When we are talking about different aspect of Karan, so we are focusing more on your professional work style and ethics, the process which you use while doing your duties. If in other profession, placing peacock feather in your living space and not turning bald by choice should be considered. Now again, if you have a concerns of hair fall, now definitely we have, I still remember that that guy like Jason Statham or Andre Agassi, the lawn tennis player. So even the bald looks also get along very well on certain people and certain personalities. But I mean to say, by your own choice, do not turn bald, because again everything in astrology is connected with each other. So after that guys, acting with accountability and responsibility rather than childishness will support native in order to grow in life. Now guys, moving ahead, now the next Karan is the caller, the meaning of which could be translated as defamation. Now guys, the lord of it is the Surya. Now you must be getting worried that if the lord is Surya, which has everything to do with the fame, then why the name of the Karan has to do with something with the defamation? I will explain you that part. So the major impact is defamation, betrayal and stigma through friends, being misinterpreted by the world. So guys, again, now it has something to do with the In the Mahabharata, there's one character called the Karan, Surya Putra Karan. So you can also connect with this as well. So specifically the kind of friends you make, that becomes very important. Like let's say for example, with this kind of alignment, your 7th house is very afflicted. So that also tells about that yes, there is going to be strong tendency and possibility of getting betrayed through your friends or through your partners. So you have to be careful. Now guys, the major results. So have to be very careful of the company you keep, as major fall in life will come through the friends only. People who are engaged in questionable acts or irrelevant to your life goals or engage you in unproductive, wasteful things should be strictly avoided. So now guys, definitely it has got more to do with the impact which comes in your professional life. So over there, the partners you choose, the colleagues you hang out with, their integrity, it's like you might be seeing them as your well-wisher, but behind you they are the ones who are spreading gossips and rumors about you, and which is impacting your growth in your career. So you have to be careful about that. After that guys, the next Karan is the Ttil. So Ttil and the meaning of which is can be translated as the knot or the foda, abscess or the boil. Now guys, when we talk about the major impact of this, so the major impact of the Ttil generally comes in a way that the way it has been explained, that someone who could be incorrigible, that there is a tendency that the native will not learn from the mistakes, and a wound and pain in the eyes of others. Now again guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, that there are like so many professions, not every profession is very likable. Like you could be working as a cop, you could be working as a lawyer, so you could be a law enforcer. You might have a very strict image in the society where you have so much power concentrated at you, and you have to take some stern or very strict decision that people are intimidated of you, or certain people they do not like you. So now guys, the results are good planner, but it is recommended to always keep your plan under wraps, as you could be an easy target of people's evil, envious eye, or people taking advantage of your good nature. Don't pretend or show off too much. Neither should you go soft on the people trying to get things done from you through sweet talking. And lastly guys, not being proactive in the face of any opportunity will make you repent once it's gone. Now guys, after that, the next Karan is the Gar, so which is being presided over by the Prithvi, and the meaning of this Karan is the poison or sharp. So now what does it tell about, or the major impact of it? So that generally comes in the form of interest in or people professionally dealing in medicines, chemicals, minerals, or gemstones. Now when we talk about the results, the way it impacts your professional life, so livelihood will have connections with chemicals, medicine, fertilizers, addictive substances. Refrain from offending people due to the usage of sharp tongue, aggressive body language, and fickleness in your commitments. And lastly, avoid unnecessary provocation at work or unethical competitive practices. Again guys, you could be a very sensationalized, very revealing kind of journalist. You might be responsible for doing all the breaking news, or you might be the one who is working as a law enforcer, you're working as a cop. So that is the theme which you will find in your professional life if you're born in this Karan. Every Tithi has got 2 Karan guys. So now guys, the next Karan is the Vanij. Now meaning of which is the business, trade, or commerce, and which is being presided over by the Lakshmi as the god. Now when we talk about the major impact, so as the name suggests, business acumen, commercial interest, and training. So if you're in that stage in your life where you are confused, you are in that crossroad, am I more suited for a job or am I more suited for the business? And being born in this Karan and with some important planets placed in your air houses like 3rd house, 7th house, 11th house, Saturn, Mercury well placed, this is a very good validation. Now guys, when we talk about the results, so fields of training, coaching, and teaching will be meant for you. Native will demonstrate strong business talents, right from innovative practices to business expansion, efficient management, and how to advertise or promote your brand. And lastly guys, a blessing in today's day and age of entrepreneurship. So this is how you can see the importance or significance of the Karan in your professional life. Now guys, the next Karan is the Wishy. So guys, this is it is also called by the name of the Bhadra as well, which is not considered as very auspicious. Now definitely for the taking out auspicious timing in so many ways, even in someone's life as well, it will definitely have an impact. So the meaning of this Karan can be translated as the heavy load and labor. The god which preside over it is the Yamraj, the lord of judgment, justice, death, time. And the major impact of this Karan generally comes in it actually makes someone capable of responsibilities, workload, but at the same time make you very gullible, easily impressionable as well, easily influenced as well. Now the results: taking responsibilities of everyone on your shoulder, being involved, keeping an eye on everyone, and always ready and willing to offer help and advice. So definitely you can there are like so many ways where you are doing the damage control. Like you could be a PR spokesperson, you could be working as a therapist, you might be working as a surgeon, and need to learn to behave like a leader, instructing and extracting work from people, because there is a extent to which you can take the pressure of the responsibilities on your shoulder. So you have to learn to delegate work, authorize work to others as well. Otherwise people will unnecessarily exploit you. Now guys, when we talk about the next Karan, which is the Shakuni, which can be translated as, the meaning of which can be translated as a bird, and the god which preside over it is the Kali. So now guys, when we talk about the major impact of it, so that comes in the form of fickleness in thoughts, adept in strategy making, and little bit prone to instigating quarrels. Now the results: definitely you could be adept in fields driven by omens, astrology, weather, birds, future predictions, forecast, and unforeseen factors governed by nature. Decision making goes through initial round of uncertainty, ambiguity, and stress, and that is what the case with the psychics and mediums is, that they might be very good in foreseeing things, but in general regular life, these are those people who have got very forgetful nature. They are like very highly strung, easily getting agitated, nervous. So that wall between the reality and the unseen reality, that in between wall tend to remain very thin in the case of these people. So yes guys, prone to visualize or make inflated business plans made on unrealistic foundation at times. And lastly, recommended to keep a pair of birds at your workstation. Now guys, the next Karan is the Chatus Pad, so the meaning of which can be translated in English as four-legged, and the god which preside over it is generally connected with the demon Rakshas. So major impact which comes: animalistic habits and demonic nature. Again guys, it all comes down to the nature of the work. You might be working and doing something which is considered as taboo in the society. So those kind of fields can be connected with this Karan as well. Now again, when we say the animalistic instinct, so that means at your work life, you do not have to be all the time driven by your like greed, primal instincts, animalistic instincts. Sometimes you have to elevate your thought process, your needs, your visualization, and your goal setting as well. So now guys, the results: being in a field dealing with animals, birds, cars, big trucks will be helpful. Prone towards extreme hard work to the extent of burnout. Advisable to take out time for relaxation, rest, and recreational activities. Honesty, integrity, gentleness, and respect for the relations benefits long term. And lastly guys, placing the picture of Vastu approved running horses at workplace brings good results. Moving ahead guys, now when we talk about the next Karan, which is the Nag, which can be translated as the snake, crawling or slithering type of movement. Now the god presiding over it is the Sarp, who's the like the snake, serpentine energy, and the major impact of it generally comes in the form of: this is considered as kind of little bit dangerous, tendency to seek revenge and hide things. Now the results: being vindictive, involvement in dangerous activities, advisable to have calm temperament at workplace for peace and progress, well suited for fields involving to work with insects, reptiles, chemicals, herbs, spices, alcohol, addictive, poisonous substances. Worship of Lord Shiva and an empathetic attitude towards animals, birds, insects will support professional success for the native. And lastly guys, the last Karan is the Kinstu Gun. So Kinstu Gun, which can be translated, the meaning can be translated as the oath breaker. So here I'm not talking about the Jaime Lannister from the Game of Thrones. So the god which preside over it, or the energy which is connected with it, is the Vayu, air. So when we talk about the major impact, the way it has been explained, changeable, ungrateful, unreliable. Now the results: being vindictive, involvement in dangerous activities, advisable to have calm temperament at workplace for peace and progress, well suited for fields involving to work with insects, reptiles, chemicals, herbs, spices, alcohol, addictive, poisonous substances, and the worship of Lord Shiva and an empathetic attitude towards animals, birds, insects will support professional success for the native. So yes guys, this was just a basic overview where I wanted to explain you that how the Karan can be used in your professional line of work, the attitude, approach, the tools with which God has sent you in this world. And definitely guys, like at the time of like muhurta, taking out the auspicious timing, which has got a straight impact in your professional life. Like it's about your you want the auspicious timing for taking the oath, you want the auspicious timing for starting something new in your professional journey, starting a new business, laying foundation to a new business. So while deciding the right time, how much importance Karan is going to place over there as a part of the Panchang. So definitely guys, this is just a basic overview. I do not want to overwhelm you with too many details. Later on, once we will start working on the case studies and all, then you will see that if you have found success in a specific field, how every aspect of the cosmos were working in your favor. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For furthermore updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Thank you.